How's it going, gamers? Chongo here, and today I've got a Q&A for you guys. This is my 700 subscribers Q&A. I've put it off for a couple of weeks and now I'm just going to get into it. So first off, thanks to everyone who's obviously subscribed, liked, comments, views my videos, anything like that. That's really awesome, and I will continue to make videos on this channel. Okay, so the first question is, what do you think of the Oculus Rift? Now, I think the Oculus Rift is awesome. I haven't been able to try it yet. I probably need to get to some gaming events so that I can actually give it a go. But whenever there is a chance of me having a go at this, I will, because it sounds like something really cool. And from everyone who has used it, I've heard has had a great experience with it. And I just think the whole idea of it is awesome, and obviously this will lead to virtual reality or stuff like that, and that sounds really cool to me. I'm not sure if it sounds awesome to you guys, but I can think of a few people who would like the whole idea of virtual reality and everything like that. Okay, the second question is, what's your gaming rig? I get asked this a lot. I've also put it in my about section of my channel, so if you ever do want to check it, or instead of coming back to this video or anything like that, you can just go there. I'll keep that updated. But basically, I've got an Intel i7 core, and I've got 16GB of RAM, and I've recently upgraded from my 560 Ti NVIDIA card to the NVIDIA GeForce GTX 780, so that's what I'm running at the moment, and I'm pretty happy with it. It hasn't had any problems or anything like that. I may eventually change the graphics card, obviously, in about 2 years, because I've just recently upgraded to that one, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with how it runs everything at the moment. Okay, now the third question. What's your thoughts on the new AMD Mantle coming this December? Now, I hadn't actually heard about Mantle until this question had been asked, so I googled it and read about it, and I thought it sounds really interesting to see if something like this will take off. So for those of you that don't know what it is, basically AMD's making this new API that will basically allow developers to make better PC games, I suppose, and take more usage out of the GPU and make it work better. So I'm not 100% sure how it's going to work in the end, because all this kind of stuff sounds good on paper, but it may not take off as well as they hope in the end. Now, since I've just done my gaming rig question, you'll obviously realize I do use NVIDIA over AMD. That's just a personal preference. I haven't got anything against AMD, so it'll be interesting to see if NVIDIA comes out with something to, counter what AMD is doing here, or if they'll just wait it out and see if it pays off for them and then maybe counter it then. So I'm not really sure how it's going to 100% work, but if it does take off and it works really well and games do run better on AMD graphics cards, obviously their sales are going to go up and NVIDIA will have to do something to increase their sales. Okay, the next question is, what are your views on the Steam Box? I have made a few videos on the Steam Box already, or the Steam Machine as they're calling it, and I think I will probably continue to make more videos as more information comes out and as more games are basically playable on SteamOS. Now, I really like the whole concept of Steam Machines. I think it will be very interesting to see how many people go out and purchase one, and obviously SteamOS would be a very awesome thing to come across. If it does run games good in the end after a couple of years, I think it's going to be really awesome for gamers to basically have a choice between operating systems, because at this point it's pretty much you just go straight for Windows and that's it. I suppose people could argue some people game on a Mac and do dual boot, but you still have to have Windows to play those games, or anything like that. So it'll be interesting to see if SteamOS does take off and if gamers are going to start using it more. Okay, the next question is, if you could do a dual commentary with anybody in the world, who would it be? Now, my choice for this is Boogie2988. He doesn't usually do gameplay videos, he does vlogs, and he often talks about gaming topics, and he seems like a nice guy in general, and he sort of covers topics that you probably see on my channel, but probably in more depth, because his videos are a lot longer than mine. And it's very interesting to see someone else who talks about the issues in gaming. I still do like to watch those people who just do, funny series and that kind of stuff, and you're probably seeing that appear on my channel now. But I do like to watch people who talk about issues that other YouTubers tend to completely avoid. They don't really want to talk about anything like that, because, I don't know, maybe they're worried someone's going to come out and get them for saying something. But I always find that people who voice their opinions on certain issues to be interesting to watch, and that's why I'd really like to do a dual commentary with him. I'll have a link to his channel in the description just in case you guys haven't heard of him, but definitely go and check him out. He's one of my favorite YouTubers. Okay, the next question is, which of the new technologies, consoles, add-ons, DLC, gadgets do you think is the most awful or waste of money? Now, this question was very, very hard, because I didn't really think there was many, bad consoles or DLCs or anything like that, so I basically went out and just said microtransactions in full price games. Now, you probably have seen previous videos of me talking about this, but I just don't like the whole concept of someone making, I don't know, a short line of code or a couple of lines of code to work out you to bypass something that they've put in the game. So for example, I'll take Forza as an example. You can pay to get more credits to buy a car. Now, the amount of work that it would take for an employee to put that in the game is pretty minimal. It's not something like creating a whole new skin or a whole new campaign or anything like that. It's something really easy and could be done, at the drop of a hat. It's something that wouldn't be complicated to do in any game at all. So that's why we're seeing them creep into full price games. However, something like DLC that you pay for, I think is more worthwhile because someone has spent a lot of time on that for you to shell out money for it. So obviously DLC is really awesome, but I just think microtransactions in full price games just seems a little bit cheap. If they're not actually adding of anything in value and it's just you skipping over something, I don't really think they should be there. Now on to the final question, what city do you live in Australia, and or is it beautiful where you live? Now I live just outside of Brisbane, so you can go to Google Images or just Google Brisbane in Queensland and you can go find out where that looks like in Australia. And it does look very nice, and most of the suburban areas have a lot of trees around, and it looks different from anywhere else that I've seen in the world, obviously, but I haven't really been to other countries, so that's something that just comparing with like images that I've seen and TV shows and that sort of thing. Anyway, this brings me out of my Q&A video for 700 subscribers. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a like, and if you've got any comments, put them down below, and if you want to join the Gamerhood, just subscribe. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time.